8:29 is our time. As routines shift and schedules get busier, it is the perfect time to focus on maintaining your well-being, especially when it comes to our metabolic health. Joining us this morning is Dr. Luigi Gratton, who's Vice President in the Office of Health and Wellness at Herbalife, to help us understand what metabolic health really means and how it impacts everything from energy to mood and what we can do to support it all year long. Doc, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Ken. Thanks for having me. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Let's start off. Explain to us what metabolic health is and why it's such an important issue in terms of overall well-being.
Yeah, Ken, thanks for the question. I think a lot of people are, it's trending quite a bit in the media, metabolic health. Whereas when I was in medical school, no one talked about this 25 years ago. But it's basically how efficiently we use our food as energy. So if you're having, lean cuts of red meat, balanced nutrition, hydration, you're exercising, getting good sleep, then you're probably doing really well with your metabolic health. If I'm having cheeseburgers, breakfast, lunch, dinner, pizza in between with lots of soda, not a good sign for your metabolic health because you're taking in a lot of calories, but it's not efficient. So it's basically putting the right type of fuel in your car, if you will. That's the analogy.
And I could feel my telomeres on my on a microscopic level and beyond. I could feel them shrinking as you talk about eating cheeseburgers all day. Um, Now,
That's right.
this, of course, impacts you more as you age. As I mentioned, telomeres. For those who don't realize, that's in your chromosomes. The ends of the chromosomes are called the telomeres, and they shrink naturally as we age, right? So, why is it so important to worry more about the metabolic health once you get into your 30s, 40s, and 50s? Can you slow down, if you will, the aging process a little bit if you eat and exercise properly?
Yeah, that's a great question, Ken. And the answer is yes. That's the good news is you can totally slow it down. The bad news is it's inevitable. After the age of 25, really at the age of 25, we've hit our peak bone, our peak muscle mass, and things start to, in a very insidious way, kind of drop. So you lose a little bit of muscle, 25 to about 40, 50. As we go through the change of life, I'm 55, then it starts to accelerate up until 70. Now you can fight that by eating well, exercising and challenging that muscle tissue. And when you've got more lean muscle mass, then you've got more activities of daily living. You can go to the bank, you can go to church, you can go wherever, drop your kids off, whatever you need to do every day, it keeps you more functional. And that's a good thing.
And you don't look 55 at all, so clearly you're a very good example of what good living can do. I'm 58, and really I've changed in the last 15 to 20 years. I was 360 pounds. I've lost half of my body weight, and I exercise, and I am a fanatic about what I eat now. And it's a night and day difference
Fantastic.
in terms of I used to wake up and need to go back to sleep. That isn't the case anymore.
It's
People
incredible.
also,
Good for you.
seasonally, I know, thank you. And I say it only because you can, it's really, we had a doctor on earlier who was talking about we were taught this in medical school, food is medicine, right? And it is 100% true.
Exactly.
We always worry about taking a pill to correct the mistakes. Just don't make the mistakes. Stop eating the stuff that's causing the problems. And
Well
many
said.
people I know feel healthier in the summer, doctor. There's more activity, of course, but also there's something to be said about the vitamin D we get from the sunlight. What are some realistic ways we could carry on the good activities and also what about supplementation? I know Herbalife has great supplements. I'm not trying to turn it into a commercial. I, for years, took
Sure.
Herbalife products and I thought they were fantastic. I used to drink aloe vera like it was going out of style.
Wow, good stuff. Yeah, I love it. And by the way, I'm out here in California, Ken, and I went to school in New York at Mount Sinai. So I know
Nice.
those cold winters. I know how it is during the hot summers. I know how difficult it can be because out here in California, we just hit the beach every day, right? I'm not trying to, I'm not bragging, but I'm just saying exercise and physical activity is more accessible. And the East Coast, sometimes it's more challenging with the change of the weather. So you can find any way you can find functional activity. Let's say going to the mall, getting a cup of tea and or some aloe, walking 2 or 3 miles around your favorite mall, right? You can do that. Or if you're doing isometric exercises at home, yoga, Pilates, even gardening, if you've got a place where you can squat down and do different types of activity, that's challenging your muscle tissue. And when you eat the right things, it helps rebuild that muscle when you're sleeping. That's key.
I spend half of my life on the beach in Fort Lauderdale. We have a home in Fort Lauderdale, and I do this program sometimes from there. And so, and we brag about it. We tease everybody about it. It's like I'm part of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, um, of Florida. But there's something to be said. It is, you're right. When you have the sunshine, it sort of beckons you to come out and just walk around. I do a daily walk on the beach when I'm down there, and there is a difference. And I know that that is essential, right? Start with your food, start with your exercise, even if it's just walking. And I know then the next level would be what Herbalife focuses on. You have science-backed nutrition, you have phenomenal, controlled, well-made supplements that are so important to help you support the metabolism that you've now done such a good job on, right? Establishing with your food and your exercise. Talk about some of the supplementation, but also the fact that you can't just eat crap and take a pill. You have to make it part of a holistic approach, right?
That's absolutely right. And Ken, it sounds like you're very well versed in medicine and nutrition. So in Herbalife, we believe in a nutrition philosophy. It's very conservative, and most physicians would agree. You've got to have certain things in the human body. You mentioned, protein, fiber, healthy carbohydrates, plenty of hydration, phytonutrients, which is something that we're kind of big in, botanicals, whether you're having it from orange, blueberries, hibiscus, caffeine, whatever that is, whatever your choice is, those we think are very important because the human body likes botanicals. They help to, give advantages. But a lot of these different nutrition philosophy principles are basically what your body needs. If you're not getting it in the standard diet, because you're busy, you're running around, you're going to work, and you're stressed, you can use supplementation. And it may be a protein powder, it may be a bar, a soup, or a tablet or capsule. And that's why we think it's important to supplement if there are gaps in your diet.
Yeah, and that is the key. This should be the icing on the cupcake, if you will, to use a bad analogy. It shouldn't be the cupcake. This is the way to stay healthy. But the nice thing about Herbalife products, and this has been the case for decades, that Herbalife sources the materials to make their products so carefully because you have a lot of if you go on the Amazon, you'll find cheaper products. You'll say, "Oh, well, this is creatine. It's only $4. Why shouldn't I get that?" And then you find out it's high in mercury or it's sourced from a country where it's really
Right.
not regulated. Herbalife has a name. You're worried about the name maintaining a certain level of quality, and you always have maintained that quality, and that's why you want to source from a place like Herbalife, et cetera. So if I'm just starting to think about my metabolic health, if I've lived unhealthfully for years, what change can we make immediately that would make an impact, a lasting one today, sir?
Yeah, Ken, I think the things that you've mentioned so far, the quality of life issues, your lifestyle choices are key. You mentioned that when you're in Florida, you get up, you go walking on the beach, you sort of chase the sun, which a lot of people are starting to do now. They're kind of waking up with the rhythm of the sun, getting that early morning sunlight. Like you mentioned, Ken, vitamin D, supplementation from the sun. That's natural supplementation that you get for free. All those things, taking advantage of your environment. And I know the East Coast can be challenging, but that's key. Number two, I would say, obviously, sort of going with as the day goes. Number two is good quality nutrition. You got to really be intentional with what you're putting in your mouth. You got to figure out what type of protein I'm going to choose today, what type of fiber, what type of vegetables or carbohydrates. That's the key because quite honestly, we're surrounded by carbohydrates and different types of processed salts, sugars, and fats. And you have to navigate your day kind of figuring out how you avoid some of those things. So being intentional with your diet. And then, of course, stress. We're just now starting to talk about stress in medicine and nutrition. And we run throughout the day and we don't realize how stressed we are. And sometimes you got to lower those stress levels, take a moment to breathe, think about being intentional with that, making sure you get good sleep. So I think going with the day as you started out walking on the beach, choosing good nutrition and making sure you're getting good rest and relaxation and sleep is key. That's a great way to start. And then, of course, if you want to supplement with some botanicals, whatever choice you want to do, that's good because it's going to help support the body.
Amen. Well, you know what? By the way, anyone who's wondering, one of the greatest things, one of the first products I ever tried with Herbalife was your aloe vera, and drinking it. I drink aloe vera. I have not put aftershave or any kind of alcohol-based product on my face in decades. I put aloe vera on my face every single day, and I'm almost 59, and the skin is pretty tight. That's the only thing I put on my face other than sunblock. I put a little
Impressive.
sunblock on when I'm down at Fort Lauderdale. That's it. And people ask me all the time, what kind of product? What's your product? It's simple. And by the way, when I'm in Florida, I just break the aloe vera plant open. Up here, I do use Herbalife aloe vera, just a disclosure. But it is the way
Love
to
that.
go. And if you want, I'm sure they can go to Herbalife.com, get more information about the products. It's good stuff, good products. Dr. Luigi Gratton, Vice President in the Office of Health and Wellness at Herbalife. It's an American company for a lot of years. Thank you for joining us this morning. It was great to have you on.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. It's a
You bet.
pleasure. Take good
And
care.
be healthy. May you live to be 150. God bless him. He doesn't look 55. He looks like he's about 35.